sehr geehrte Damen und Herren, und vielleicht im Sinne dieses Abends erst recht, liebe Mitmenschen, für mich ist es eine große Freude, dass ich Sie heute Abend so zahlreich hier im Innovations-Biotope Uri willkommen heißen darf. Mein Name ist Thierry Girard, ich bin Anästhesist am Unispital Basel. Sie hätten mich vielleicht jetzt nicht hier erwartet. Und für mich ist es eine Premiere, einen Zettel in der Hand zu haben, wo mir jemand geholfen hat, etwas Intelligentes zu sagen. Ich werde mein Bestes tun, mich daran zu halten. Vielleicht sage ich auch etwas ganz anderes. Und ich bin Vizepräsident des Europäischen Instituts für sichere Kommunikation oder EISC. Und in dieser Funktion spreche ich zu Ihnen und möchte Sie hier begrüßen. Dieser Abend ist ganz besonders. Dieser Abend ist besonders für dieses Institut und für mich persönlich. Das EISC ist nicht einfach eine neue Institution. Es ist, oder wir verstehen es als eine Antwort. Eine Antwort auf eine Zeit, in der wir, und Sie sicher auch, spüren, dass sich irgendwie etwas verschiebt. Eine Zeit, in der Information überall ist, aber echtes Verständnis wird irgendwie immer seltener. Wir kommunizieren digitaler denn je. Ich weiß nicht, wer den Begriff soziale Medien erfunden hat, sozial sehe ich die nicht wirklich, und begegnen uns immer weniger. Genau deshalb wurde dieses Institut gegründet, um das zu bewahren und zu stärken, was uns als Menschen ausmacht, um unsere Fähigkeiten zur gegenseitigen Verständnis, zur zwischenmenschlichen Verbindung, zu dem, was uns als Menschen ausmacht, zu vereinen. Und genau deshalb sind wir heute Abend hier. Vielleicht haben Sie sich gefragt, was hat Achtsamkeit mit Sicherheit zu tun? Was verbindet uralte spirituelle Weisheit mit moderner Kommunikationswissenschaft? Ein Blick auf unsere Welt gibt Ihnen die Antwort, oder uns. Wir leben in einer Zeit, in der Kommunikation, das war einmal das Bindeglied der Gesellschaft, zunehmend zur Trennlinie wird, wo Sprache nicht mehr eine Brücke ist, sondern eine Barrikade, wo wir uns in Debatten verlieren, anstatt einander zuzuhören. Das EISC wurde gegründet, um dem etwas entgegenzusetzen. Wir stärken Kommunikationskompetenz dort, wo sie über Leben und Zusammenarbeit entscheidet. Im Rettungswesen, in der Medizin, in der Luftfahrt und eben auch in gesellschaftlichen Krisen. Im September wird hier in Uri der erste internationale Krisenresilienzgipfel des EISC stattfinden. Können Sie schon in die Agenda schreiben. Aber heute geht es um etwas anderes, das noch tiefer reicht. Es geht darum, eine Idee, eine Vision, dass der Frieden, den wir in der Welt suchen, nicht getrennt werden kann vom Frieden, den wir in uns selbst finden. Dass es nicht genügt, Systeme zu reparieren, wenn unsere Zwischenmenschlichkeit leidet. Dass innere Klarheit und zwischenmenschliche Kommunikation sind keine Gegensätze, sondern zwei Seiten ein und derselben Kraft. Diese Vision stammt von unserer Präsidentin, Institutspräsidentin, Professor Annegret Hannawa. Sie hat diesen Abend konzipiert, um uns zu zeigen, wenn wir die Weisheit kontemplativer Praxis, wie sie Bhante Sujatha aus Sri Lanka verkörpert, mit der Wissenschaft sicherer Kommunikation verbinden, dann entsteht etwas Neues, etwas Heilsames, etwas, das wir heute dringender brauchen als sonst oder als je zuvor. Und im heutigen Dialog wird ein Bogen gespannt vom inneren Frieden zur zwischenmenschlichen Harmonie, getragen von der Vision gesellschaftlicher Sicherheit. Zwei Perspektiven, zwei Sprachen, eine gemeinsame Ausrichtung. In einer Welt, die genau das von uns verlangt, nicht mehr nur Reaktion, sondern Verbindung. Nicht einfach eine Meinung, sondern das Mitgefühl. Nicht nur Worte, sondern eine geteilte Verantwortung. Und genau hier kommen wir alle ins Spiel. Jeder Einzelne von Ihnen, jeder einzelne von uns, wir sind heute Abend nicht nur Zuhörerinnen und Zuhörer, wir sind Teil dieser Brücke. Denn sie entsteht nicht auf der Bühne, sie entsteht in uns und zwischen uns, in jedem Gespräch, das wir und Sie führen, in jeder Entscheidung, wie wir zuhören, in jedem Moment, in dem wir uns bewusst dafür entscheiden, nicht zu spalten, sondern zu verbinden. Die Zukunft des Menschen, Menschsein, das wird uns dieser Abend zeigen, wird nicht durch Technik und Innovation gesichert, kann ich Ihnen garantieren, sondern durch zwischenmenschliche Stärke. Und in diesem Sinne freue ich mich natürlich sehr, Venerable Bhante Sujatha und Professor Annegret Hannawa auf die Bühne zu bitten. Ich wünsche Ihnen allen einen erkenntnisreichen, inspirierenden und verbindenden, spannenden Abend. Vielen Dank, dass Sie hier sind.
Good evening. We're switching to English now. Guten Abend zusammen. Ich werde zwischendurch ein bisschen versuchen, auf Deutsch zusammenzufassen, but the main English tonight will be the main language will be in English. So Bhante, it's a great joy to have you here in the center of Switzerland, and this promises to be a quite interesting evening. So thank you for the long way you've taken to come visit us. It's a dialogue tonight, so I will be asking Bhante some questions, and of course at the end, if I'm sure a lot of questions will come up in the audience, we would like to invite you to also think of questions, but please keep them to the end so we can keep the time a bit concise and not get lost in the middle, because there's a couple of important messages I think we try to bring across today. So we promised, and this is not why everybody's here, but we did promise a gift from Sri Lanka tonight. Sri Lanka is, for those of you who have been there, a quite interesting gift-giving culture. So we are talking tonight about humanity. We talk about being one humankind and also what gifts we give to each other in our presence. So this special gift tonight, we would like to start now. And the revelation of what the gift entails will be at the end of tonight. So Bhante would like to begin just setting the tone of us all coming together in the excitement of being here in a brief 3-minute meditation, a Buddhist meditation that will all drive us down in energy a bit. We're all nervous being here, myself as well. And while we do that 3-minute meditation, Alexandra and my doctoral student will pass out the first part of the gift, and Bhante would like to say something to that.
So, could you divide it to 2 people so then we can go faster? So,
yeah. Yes.
Okay, just keep this bracelet and so meditate with it, okay? So end of the program I will let you know what we are going to do with that. Okay? That sounds wonderful?
So the bracelet, Bhante, it's a sacred item, right?
Right, exactly. Don't put it in the ground or just keep it in palm.
In the palm, in the hand.
Yeah.
Jetzt auf Deutsch nochmal kurz. Wir machen jetzt eine kurze 3 Minuten Einführung. Und es gibt ein Teil des Geschenks, das nachher verkündet wird. Und dafür sollte jetzt jeder, was Fabiana und Alexandra rumreichen, bitte in der Hand halten für die Meditation. Und wir werden dann nachher noch später mehr dazu sagen, wenn wir mit dem Dialog fertig sind.
Okay, now first we are going to do a short guided meditation. So therefore please find the comfortable posture. Keep your back straight as much as you can. Gently close your eyes. Take a deep long breath. Then release. Then relax your body. Relax your mind. Let's do one more time. Breathe in, hold, then release. Experience relaxation and peace. Feel harmony with your body. Feel close to yourself. Now send your loving thoughts towards yourself, thinking, I am well, I am happy, I am peaceful. Understand the meaning of each word clearly and deeply, then repeat it to yourself. I am well, I am happy, I am peaceful. Having loving motivation towards yourself, now slowly turn your attention to the subtle sensation of the breath. Every breath you take in, you take out is taken mindfully. Focus on your natural, ordinary breath. No need to repress your thoughts. No need to control your thoughts. Let them come, let them be, or let them go. Now observe your mind, observe your body. Your body is relaxed, your mind is calm, tranquil and peaceful. Now bring your palms together close to your heart. Make a wish for yourself, your inner journey, for your family, for your children, your loved ones. This is the good time to make that wish after meditation. May peace be with you. May you be well. May you be happy. May you be peaceful. Choose loving kindness. Thank you very much. Please open your eyes.
I think we should do this all night. Thank you, Bhante. Powerful 3 minutes.
Yes.
I don't know how you all feel, but I oftentimes try to find time to build in healing practices in my hectic everyday life, and typically the first time I turn on the news in the morning, that effort is defeated. And this is where we'd like to start today. The title of this evening is Healing Communication in a Noisy World, in a world where, as Terry already said, communication has become more of a divisive weapon than it has been a connecting force. If we look back to the existence of humanity, communication has been the one thing that unifies us as a species, that brings us together, that has made us what we focus on in our institute. Safety is one of safety, survival are some of the main concerns and functions of communication that we've used since the beginning of our existence. Not to say that communication has never been used for propaganda, not to say communication has never been used for purposes of power and destruction. But it looks like in recent years or a couple of decades, things have shifted a bit. Our communication, we've developed means of communicating that have advanced into digital realms. We're now developing artificial intelligence. We're developing new pathways of what was developed as connection. Mark Zuckerberg, when he first developed Facebook, I don't know if you think back to those times, what did Facebook serve? Connection. It was to make friends connect after they graduate, to find places to meet. And nowadays we have digital, social media, digital means that maybe no longer necessarily only serve connection. It does, we saw it in COVID, but it also is a powerful means of creating disinformation campaigns, propaganda, and causing a lot of division. So Bhante and I just talked about this. I teach a class in Lugano on communication challenges for the future health of humankind in the bachelor's program. It's an elective class, and it's become fully crowded these past couple of years because the need is becoming more evident. And interestingly, just 2 years ago, I was reflecting, I talked about the trend of globalization. We're going into globalization. Humanity is coming back together on issues that are forcing us to think and act as one again, because they're too big of us to be thinking of each other as countries. And yet now I had to change the class and go back to global divide, nationalization. So something's shifted in these past few years, really. And this is my first question I would like to address to Bhante now. Bhante, is this what's happening in the world, what's happening with humanity, what we're seeing in these recent years? Is that more of the same old, or is there something that you see shifting?
Okay, thank you so much. So I think now first we have to talk about the world problems. So now we are so into these world problems because of the communication, social media, the news media, and we really know the world right away. Within few minutes, we can get to know everything about it. Now think about like maybe 100 years ago, how people communicated. People did really well that time too. So now these new technologies come to the world to help people. What happened to people now? Having those, all the new modalities, right? So people use those things to make their life better, not make their life better. They are using those opportunities ruin their lives. That's what happened. So now think about, I can give you an analogy. Now here these countries, yogurt, right? Yogurt is a really common thing, these countries, right? Now, how you eat yogurt? Using a spoon, right? you are using a spoon and eating yogurt. But I will give you a cup, yogurt cup to you with a knife. So still you can eat from a knife. Can you? If you want to, you can keep eating from a knife. How you are going to eat it? Very carefully. When we are eating yogurt with a spoon, we are talking and watching television and talking to a friend. We are eating using a spoon. But using a knife? I'm not talking about the butter knife. A real kitchen knife. So you are extra mindful how you put it, how you lick it, how you put a knife out. Why is that? Easily you can cut, you can ruin yourself. Same thing. Now all these good things came to the world to supporting to people. What happened now? People use all those technologies to communicate, losing their life. Now what is happening now? Lot of frustration, lots of anger, lots of disappointment. So therefore, all those opportunities are not the problem. Do you think Facebook is a problem? I don't think so. Facebook is not the problem. Other social media is not the problem. Problem is your mind. So I have all the social media things. I do have everything. But I use it as needed. That's not my whole life. So therefore, whatever we have in our life, those are wonderful things. But the problem, people don't have discipline how to use it. So therefore, I'm always reminding people, don't blame to outside sources. Now what we are trying to do every single day, change outside for benefit for me. Good luck. If you are trying to do that, rest of your life you are going to suffer. You are in pain. You are disappointed. Instead of that, what you have to do now? Let them to handle those things. You handle yourself. So, my favorite quote is, the world is too big for me to change. But my inner world is a perfect size. I can change my world. So then I can change the whole world. So therefore, I think those things are wonderful, but we don't have discipline to how to use them. So therefore, we have to have another talk, how we are going to use it mindful and loving way to benefit for ourselves and benefit for the world.
Thank you, Bhante.
Thank you.
So things have shifted, and maybe just kurz in Deutsch zusammengefasst. Es ging darum, ob sich was geändert hat in der Menschheit oder ob alles gleich geblieben ist und wir das vielleicht einfach anders sehen. Und ja, es kam was Neues. Die digitalen Medien, sozialen Medien sind neu. Bhante hat das Vergleich gebracht, wenn wir Joghurt essen mit dem Löffel, können wir dabei fernsehen und alles. Jetzt kriegen wir aber Joghurt mit einem Messer. Wie essen wir das Joghurt? Vorsichtig, wenn wir uns schneiden können. Also die Idee ist, ja, es gibt neue Wege der Kommunikation, die wir nicht ändern können. Wie wir das genießen, können wir ändern. Und der letzte Rat, den er gerade noch gegeben hat, war, die Welt ist zu groß zu verändern, aber unsere innere Welt hat genau die richtige Größe, dass wir sie ändern können. So now I switch back to English, Bhante. Okay, so we have quite a bit of research also in mass media communication, things like this. Kahneman, I don't know if that's a name, some of you may know, Thinking Fast and Slow. There's a lot of research also now how our brain works in response to communication, particularly to persuasion, to manipulation, deception, and all those kind of things. And of course, companies benefit from selling products, so also how we sell products, we can benefit from good communication. So thinking fast and slow, for example, Kahneman talks about system 1, system 2 thinking, which basically says we go back to the power of storytelling. Storytelling is a keyword, fashion, huh? No, it's actually very old. It's what we used to do in the very beginning when we started finding words. We sat around the fire and we used storytelling for what? For safety. For safety. Don't touch fire, it's hot, you will burn yourself. Be careful of that animal, it will eat you. We tell stories to make sense of life, to connect, to find strength in our human connection, to survive. And this is how, as the only human species, there was 5, we're the last one that survived. Why? Only we survived the last climate change. don't know if you know that, right? We're the last human species. We survived the last climate change. Interesting. We're facing the same problem again. We'll see if we can. Adaptability was right. So are we able to adapt? So with the storytelling, we've evolved as humans physiologically. We've also evolved as humans in communication. So now we have digital media. Everything you said. We evolved in terms of channels we can use to reach the whole world. We can sometimes I literally feel Trump is in my living room. It's like I told the kids I need to turn this because it feels like he's sitting on my sofa. There's no boundaries anymore. Everything is coming into our living room, into the children's bedrooms. How do we protect? We can't cut it out anymore. And this is where manipulative communication is becoming tremendously powerful, because you don't just see advertising or manipulation when you turn on the TV. You have it on your screen 24/7 if you're not able to turn it off or shift it out, like you said. Now, this shifting power, and this is my next question to you, and it's not going to be an easy one.
Right.
When Kahneman's system 1 and 2 thinking through storytelling is activated, the power of storytelling is to go straight into emotions and cut out thinking. There's research on this, neural processes in our brain, how we work, how we react as human nature to storytelling. It's anchored in our genetics, anchored in our neurological thinking, in our brain structures. So they're using storytelling, and I include politics, I include sales, everything, and we're being reached in our living rooms, in our bedrooms, in the kitchen, wherever we are, with storytelling that is designed to switch off our critical thinking and go straight into our emotions, where we just act out of instinct. Now, instinct and human nature is what you do. We have lots of human nature reactions that you just already addressed in us. Now, in the context of not just social media being there, but the manipulative communication reaching us through those things, and I'm speaking for myself how difficult it is to turn off the social media, to not pay attention. So when we're not only receiving a lot of the communication, but it's also so manipulative that it stimulates our emotional reactivity. How can we, this is my question, how can we, being attacked all the time with this stuff, how can we keep or develop a mindful resilience from the inside out against emotional attacks that kind of turn off our things?
Now I think you talk about what is the problem we're having in the world right now, right? Everybody understands the problem. So people, as you talk, people love to talk about the problems. But my experience, when I try to give a solution, they don't want it. Why is that? Do you see why is that? People don't want solution. They have to work hard for that. But looking at the phone, watching, scroll down all days, it is fun. It is so fun. But same time, after an hour later, oh, I wasted my time, my energy, I'm not paying attention to my children, my other work. Then, oh my God, I'm bad, I'm negative, I'm not mindful human being. Then you have regret about yourself. So therefore, every day what I can see in the world, there is a consequences, there is an issue, people talk about the problem. Wherever I go, people talk about the problems. But my job, my work, giving the answers. But when I'm talking about the answers, oh, it is difficult, it takes time, I don't have time for that. But you have time for those other things. To go that negative direction, you have time for that. But when I give a solution, you say, I don't have time for that. If I ask you now, before I give an answer, do you have time for meditation every day? Right? Most of the time people say no. But do you have time for Facebook? No. Right? Some people know, right? Some people, younger generation especially, and older generation too now, I can see, they're always on the social media. So therefore, now we have an issue. We have an issue in the world. So everybody can talk about, another 2000 years we can talk about this. But how about the answer? Answer, what Buddha was talking about 2669 years ago. he talked about the answers, those problems. What is the answer? Mindfulness. What is the mindfulness all about? I don't like the word mindfulness. The word mindfulness is very expensive in the world right now. In the United States, people paying thousands of dollars to learn about mindfulness. Why? The word mindfulness turned into like a very commercialized. It's become a big business. Why mindfulness become very big business now in the world? Why is that? That much people are distracted. Make sense? That much people are distracted. Therefore, they are looking for more mindfulness now. Then people know about mindfulness. They are selling it. So that means the communication, social media, all those things, and the mindfulness, there is no big difference now. Why? Mindfulness also become very commercialized. So therefore, I don't like the word mindfulness. I like to use the word introspection. That means your awareness always going inward, not outward. Usually, our awareness going always outward. Always looking at other people, always looking at the other situation. How we are going to change outside things to make myself feel better. So how much time you have for that? To go and change the whole world? Can you change the whole Switzerland? Can you change the whole Europe? So my point, how you are going to change outside, even you don't have time to change yourself. Make sense now? So do you have time to change outside? No, right? Sometimes you are trying, but even you don't have to change yourself. So therefore, we have to understand this mindfulness practice help all the problems we have in this world. All the problems. All the problems you can find the answer from this mindfulness practice. Make sense? So people are not committed to practice this. Now think about, I'm being a monk now 46 years, being a monk, practicing. All my life I'm monking around. Right? So anyway, can you believe that 46 years being a monk and still practicing this, still challenging? That means you are not late yet. You are not late. If you start it today, tomorrow will be better. This evening will be better. So therefore, what I am asking you, what is mindfulness? What is mindfulness? 3 things I can give you to practice mindfulness. These are the answers. She was talking about all the questions and the problems. I am giving you the answers. What is mindfulness? Paying attention. Paying attention to what?
To yourself.
To yourself. So that means paying attention to yourself. So paying attention to yourself means paying attention to your senses. Now think about, all your senses are not working. What you call yourself after that? If your senses are not working? Dead. No problem. Your senses are dead, no problem at all. So now your senses are non-stop, day and night, even during the sleep, still working. Lots of work. So therefore paying attention to all your 5 senses or 6 senses, whatever number you want to say. So if you are not paying, now think about after this, there's some snacks. So better to paying attention to what you eat. Most of the time people eat emotionally, especially in America. People love to eat. So then they are complaining, oh, I ate too much. I'm eating too much sugar. I eat too much cake. Then they are complaining to the people who are making the cake. Right? They are keep eating the cake. They are complaining, oh, that lady made the big cake for me. That's the problem. You know, the lady who made the cake is not the problem. You don't have awareness how you are going to eat them. Eating is not issue. Eating is a beautiful thing. Right? How you are going to eat it. That is important. That's a paying attention, right? Paying attention to your senses. Number 2, live in the present moment. What is the present moment? People say, don't worry about the past, don't worry about the future, do it now. Who can do it? Most of the time people say that, nobody can do it. Why we are saying that? one day I asked one woman, what is living in the present moment? She said, don't worry about the past, don't worry about the future. Then she asked me, can you do that? Then I asked, can you do that? She said, no. She was smart. Then she put the same question for me, can you do that? I said, no. So what is the problem about the present moment now then? Present moment is understand the past. Whatever you did in the past, learn the lesson from the past negative experience, bring that lesson to the present moment. Make sense? Okay. Then plan for the future. People say don't worry about the future. I'm worrying about my future because most of my adult life, more than live in Sri Lanka, I used to live in the United States. So now I'm thinking, now I'm 57 years old, where I'm going to live. So there's a little worry. So finally I realized worrying doesn't help, but I can plan. Now I have few plans, like 5-6 plans for my future. But one thing I understand practicing mindfulness, nature of the future plans. What is the nature of the future plans? It may happen, it may not happen. So understanding that, make the future plans. Then whatever readily available, the day you need the plan, take that one, go and have fun. That's the present moment. Then last one, I can give a whole another talk about this. The last one, non-judgmental. So when you hear the word judgment, do you like it? Oh, when I say something, people say, Bhante, don't judge me, okay? I said, I do. Now looking at me, what you are doing? Listening to me, you are judging. Looking at you, what I am doing? I am judging too. Nothing wrong with that. Judgment is all right. But condemnation is not. Make sense? So therefore, to the problems now, all the burning issues in the world right now, this is the answer. Mindfulness is the answer. It is a universal law. It is not belong to Sri Lanka. It is not belong to United States or Switzerland or any other country. It is universal. Everybody can understand this. Everybody can find the answer for those issues. So after you get that wisdom, all the world matters is not the big issue anymore. Does it make sense?
Thank you, Bhante.
Yeah, thank you.
Kurze Zusammenfassung in German.
Okay.
Jetzt muss ich zurückgehen. 3 Praktiken, die wir verwenden können, um nicht so sehr uns zu fokussieren, was uns angreift, sondern darauf, wie wir darauf reagieren. Das erste wäre, er hat über Achtsamkeit geredet und meidet den Begriff, weil aus Achtsamkeit sehr viel Geld generiert wird aktuell. Es geht um Introspektion, also nach reinzuschauen, in sich reinzuschauen, was man selber gerade mit allen Sinnen wahrnimmt. Auch nicht nur zu denken, das ist nur im Hier und Jetzt, sondern das ist natürlich verbunden zu der Vergangenheit und der Zukunft, aber dass man das auch erlaubt zusammenzuziehen. Und das Letzte, man sollte nicht verurteilen. Also er grenzt ab zwischen beurteilen, ist normal, es ist eine normale Reaktion, andere zu beurteilen, aber verurteilen ist, wenn es dann problematisch wird. Also kurz gefasst, die heilsame Praxis für uns, die wir selber in der Flut der Angriffe von außen für uns selber als Medizin sozusagen verwenden können, Naturmedizin, Menschen-Naturmedizin sozusagen, ist uns selber dafür die Zeit zu nehmen und auch nicht zu sagen, wir fokussieren uns lieber auf die Probleme, sondern die Reparatur anzugehen. Und er meinte auch, Buddha hat 2670 Jahre, ist es her, als er das schon gepredigt hat, und bis heute bleibt das die Wahrheit der Menschen-Natur und somit auch eine Menschen-Naturmedizin. Das ist ein schöner Begriff, Menschen-Naturmedizin. Terry? Klinik? Okay, gut, kann man verwenden. Um uns auch selber eine Heilung damit zu ermöglichen. So I switch back to English now. So we're speaking of healing, right? We're speaking of self-healing practices, ancient, old, and now I'd like to go to that ancient, old practices, and we have some things up here that we brought today to bring Sri Lanka and ancient wisdom to this talk, which was also promised in the advertising of the evening that we made and inviting you all. I traveled to Sri Lanka last year, and I brought these things back because they touched me deeply as a communication scientist, which made me discover the many similarities between Buddhism and communication science, actually modern communication science and ancient Buddhist practice. Things that are almost the same thing, just on different levels, in that communication science looks at what happens between us, and the Buddhist practice looks introspection. And it's like two puzzle pieces that belong to human nature. We can't detach them. So we can't communicate safely or healthy if inside there's poison. At the same time, it goes the other way around as well. So there are two things, and interestingly, there's same dynamics happening in both realms. How we work inside and how we work between each other. And that's duality. Duality and suffering, anchored in who we are as human, in our human nature. So the duality we'll talk about in a second from the Buddhist perspective. From the communication perspective, the duality looks like this. In relating to each other, we always have dialection, contradiction. It's always a push and pull on 3 levels. The first one is connection versus separation. And when you have children, or you're married, or you have friends, we're always in that push and pull. We want to be together, but we also need privacy time. The same with expression. We want to tell people about what's going on, but we also need concealment, also need to keep things private, right? We want to have certainty, right? We love certainty, right? We love certainty. We want to know what the weather's going to be like. We want to know that we're going to have money when we're old. We want to have every insurance to make sure we're going to be okay. But at the same time, we hate boring. We hate too much certainty. We need novelty sometimes. We need to have a surprise date. We need to have flowers sometimes when we, something like this. This is human nature in the interpersonal realm. It's been studied for over 100 years. It's been many, many experiments done. It's been understood quite well. So we have duality in how we relate. And what does communication science say? It's the golden mean,
Right.
Where we find peaceful relationships, where we find harmony. So it's not too much time for myself, the boys' night out or whatever that might be, or women's night out, and not too much connection because it's suffocating. It's not too much telling you everything because a little bit of surprise is also nice. So the golden mean is also something that in Buddhism, now on the introspective nature, is very important for health, right? So we talk about inner health and we talk about relational health as two puzzle pieces of a healthy humanity and how we connect in this world. Raksha masks, they're called? Raksha masks.
Mask.
I found these, and we actually have some of them. We shipped here from Sri Lanka for you to, if you would like to take one home with you. There are 6 or 7 different ones that I saw. This is the cobra mask, it's called. These go pre-Buddhism time, right? Very old, ancient Sri Lanka traditions, and what they do is they're called demon masks, and they're portraying inner demons. Pride, jealousy, disharmony, anything like envy, all these kind of things. Now, the different types talk for different purposes, and what you may correct me later on, but as I understood from being in Sri Lanka, traditionally and still today, what do they do with them? They're not decorative pieces on the wall. They get embodied, they get danced with and laughed at. Now, these masks are nothing but a mirror of introspection, showing us what's going on inside of us. But they're demon masks, and this is a funny word, but it's a demon mask showing us what are the causes of suffering that I'm currently experiencing. Is it pride? Is it jealousy, envy? There's many different masks for many different purposes. So Bhante, I would like to put this on your side now because this is your culture and you can tell us a bit more about this. See, he's actually putting it on with no fear, I fear. But also tell us, so we're talking about healing practices. How do these masks help us, or how can they help us identify what the source of suffering is? And now pulling this out from Buddhism or from introspection also into the interpersonal realm, how could we use tools in daily life to have a mirror like this?
So first I want to explain to you how come these kind of masks come to those cultures. So long time ago, like couple, maybe 2000 years ago, most of people didn't have these kind of now modern communication. And also they cannot read, they cannot write. Only thing they can listen to things. When the good people, wise people, whatever they are sharing, they can listen to it. So that time, this is the Facebook. 2000 years ago, this is the Facebook. This is the social media. So what people are doing still in Sri Lanka now, they put it on the face like a mask like this. They are dancing. So while they are dancing, they are doing healing practices. Why? These masks, communicating our inner demons. So when I talk, oh, you have inner demons, you have this problem, people don't get it. Those, less educated people, they don't get it. But wearing the mask and say something like a toy, oh, they get the message. This is the communication technique that time. It doesn't mean this is a good, way to communicate. It doesn't mean we have to do it the same way right now. It makes sense? So now what happened in Sri Lanka, even modern countries, people use it as a decoration. Even they don't know what is the purpose of this. So the purpose of this mask to understand our inner demons. Because the way I understand, we all are wounded. Now think about like this. When I say something funny, I see you are smiling. It is so beautiful. It doesn't mean you don't have problems, right? You all have problems. When I am looking at you, I don't see any problems. You are perfect. Do you see any problems in me? No, right? If you want to know my problem, please come to Chicago. As other monks, what are the problems I have? But I know how to hide my problems. That is human nature. In front of the public, like this kind of places, we know how to keep our problems inside us. But real inside us, it's boiling. Really heat inside us. We don't know. That's why I said wounded. Our minds, our hearts are wounded. So now why people are looking for mindfulness? You are looking for healing. That much. So if you really know you are wounded, easy to find the answer. Most of people, they don't know they are wounded. Even they don't want to know they are wounded. Why? They are lazy. They don't want to work hard. So people sometimes come to me and talking about their problems I want to heal. They always asking those kind of questions. Then I'm giving some guidelines. This is the way. Oh, I don't know. Why is that? They think I'm pouring into their head all the healing. Oh, here you go. Seal, done. You are healed. I don't have that magic power. So now think of 46 years. Whole my life I am still trying this, still difficult, still trying to figure it out. So that means you have to do it. Now Jewish tradition, I heard something beautiful. All our hearts are broken. I don't know the way I said it right. We all are broken. So they all are trying to fix it. That is the healing. So if you really want to heal yourself, healing modalities, only way to heal your inner self. If you are healing your inner self, do you think there's a problem in the outer world? I don't think so. So therefore, if you really want to find the inner healing, taking care of your demons, please learn how to love yourself. How to love yourself. Now, doctors are here, right? So, right, think about it. When we are in the airplane, they are giving us the safety instructions. One of them is, put your oxygen mask first before you assist other person. Do you say, no, I don't want to do that? Do you say that in the airplane? Then you are out from the airplane if you say that. So that's what Buddha said 2600 years ago. Love yourself first before you love other people. So if you really want to taking care of this whole world, taking care of this world. So recently I gave a call to my mom. So she's 83 years old, very spiritual woman. So we are always talking about our practice. So I said to my mom, I'm going to check how she feels about it. I said, Mom, when I come to my practice as a monk, when I come to my own personal practice, you are number 2, okay? I said it. Then right after I said that, I felt she's so quiet. I thought she hung up the phone. Then I said, Mom, are you there? Are you there? Yeah, I'm here. What are you doing there? Why you are quiet? No, I'm thinking. I'm thinking. Then she said, can I say something? I said, sure. Then she said, when I come to my practice, you are number 2 also. How powerful that? She got it. She got it. So therefore, what I am asking you today to heal yourself, heal the world. Don't misunderstand my words. Sometimes I'm saying funny words. Be selfish. Did you get it? Yes. Be selfish. So without being selfish, you cannot be selfless. So when I come to my practice, I'm the most selfish person in the world. Why? When I go this journey by myself, there is no group of people coming behind me to support me. They can help me a little bit, my teachers did, but I am the one taking the light. So therefore, you are your own Buddha. Can you see tiny little Buddha inside you? If you see that, that is the beauty, overcome your demons. So what you see every day now in your life? Demons. This difficulty, that difficulty, this crazy thing in my mind. Then it's affecting to you, you cannot sleep. So that's your demon coming out. Then you don't know how to deal with the demons. Most of the time what people do, taking medication and repress that demon. Then what will happen? After a few weeks later, demon come again. That means that is a temporary solution. So when you, I don't know here what kind of medication you are doing, we call the Advil.
Dafagan.
Right, those kind of things. So when you have a headache, we take the Advil or ibuprofen or something like that. Did you read the box? Did you read the box? What it says? Temporary relief. Those kind of medication says temporary relief. What does that mean? Problem will come again. So the most of the time, whatever problem, we know our problems are. We really know what are the problems we have. But we are not ready to find the solution. Why? When you are trying to find the solution, it is challenging, it is a lot of work, and also people enjoying suffering. Do you see that? People enjoy suffering.
Thank you, Bhante. And to add to that, maybe you can make it a bit harsher. We really have no choice.
No. No choice.
We really have no choice. So choosing that path is not, oh, I'll think about it.
Right.
Because it catches up with us. And at the latest, on our deathbed, we're going to have to deal with those demons and do it ourselves. Yeah. Right? Unless we want to shoot ourselves away with a lot of Advil.
Yeah.
So that's beautiful, the story. Let me just summarize it briefly in German. Es ging darum, was diese Maske in Sri Lanka aus der sehr alten Geschichte Sri Lankas über 2000 Jahre alt präsentiert. Und Bhante hat gesagt, das ist das Facebook von vor 2000 Jahren. I love that term. Genau, und das ist im Endeffekt nichts anderes als ein Mittel auch für Leute, die damals Kommunikation anders verstanden haben oder vielleicht auch nicht so sophistiziert verstanden haben. Man zieht diese Maske auf. Und noch heute wird es in Sri Lanka praktiziert, dass man damit tanzt, dass man damit lacht. Und das ist nichts anderes als ein Spiegel, was in unserer Seele passiert. Also die Dämonen, die diese Masken darstellen, Eifersucht, Egoismus, Stolz oder was auch immer, die Ursachen des menschlichen Leidens, die Ursachen dessen, was uns innen leiden oder zerbrochen sein lässt, werden durch diese Masken eben dargestellt. Also auf eine einfache Weise, um sich sozusagen einen Spiegel vor das Gesicht zu halten. Und die Antwort, meine Frage war gewesen, wie diese Maske uns helfen kann oder welche Wege wir finden können in unserem Alltagsleben, um diese Dämonen, also diese Dinge, die uns eigentlich Schmerz verursachen, zu finden. Und da kam dann eben die Diskussion, wie werden wir schmerzlos, wird Dafagan. Es steht aber auf der Packung nur vorübergehende Lösung, also Schmerznachgabe, danach kommt es wieder zurück und der andere Weg, das zu tun, wäre eben die Introspektion zu verstehen, wir alle haben Schmerz, es ist Teil der Menschennatur, ist das Suffering, also das menschliche Leid ist Teil von uns und das eben mit Liebe zu verstehen und auch als Menschennatur zu sehen, dort anzusetzen, um Wege zu finden, damit Frieden zu finden. So the golden mean, again, we go back to identifying what is the source of suffering that's causing me to hurt right now, whether it's your mom listening to that harsh message, or just accepting that that's actually the truth. So the pathway to being loving and kind to other people starts with first having to start inside. And I know this sounds dogmatic a bit, like, you know, pedantic. It's like this is what you do, and then you get. And I was just adding, it's not pedantic. It's the truth. It's the simple human nature truth. There's a story I can share. I was myself very ill 6 years ago, and I went through hospital care, and I thought I was going to be left to dying. I had a brain stroke at age 39. And so I was out, not working for 2.5 years in rehabilitation and care, and I went through the hospital system that taught me you have to take medicine to survive. And if you don't swallow your medicine, you will die, right? So it's exactly taking the pill. And so I got worse and worse. Terry, he was like, I just emailed you, I'm going to die, I guess. So what I noticed after 10 weeks of rehab, where I was getting worse and worse, and you're in a stroke unit, one person dies, and you think you're next, you know, it's life. You think you're next, that's life. And so while we were in rehab, there was a lot of handicapped people, a lot of people that couldn't walk anymore, that couldn't talk anymore. I was lucky to come back to who I was. And we saw this one day, this was the time when Angela Merkel, they said she's shivering. Do you guys remember that? In the news, Angela Merkel zittert. And it was on the top of the newspapers, and we went in the rehab center and we saw it, and we all felt the same human emotion, disgust. Because we are all destroyed by the way we live, and we saw how this communication hurts a person who did no bad. And so we saw the pain of communication that has brought us where we are, and how it keeps going. So looking out to the world, but we were inside in that peace, because everything was taken from us, and what was left was a human connection. And it was the most powerful thing we had. So I want to add also from that experience, not only that we don't have a choice, but also, and this is very important, we have the power. We have the power. And a system that wants to tell us we don't is abusive. So that's what I would like to add from a communication science perspective to this conversation. Each of us, yes, has inside of us everything we need for our path. Everything, 100%. We also have everything inside us to heal. And not just ourselves, but also our relationships with other people, and also humanity. But as Bhante says, it starts within. So I would like to take the last, can we look at I forgot my watch today, it's a different currency. Just to see, okay, perfect, okay. So there's one final turn I would like to take, because this is something I really loved. And Bhante said, maybe this is too much for tonight, but I love it too much, because Sanda
Kada Pahana.
Sanda Kada Pahana.
Yeah, moonstone.
It's the half moonstone, right? So if you, in the tourism business world, Google moonstones, they sell you very expensive stones. So not that kind of moonstone. This is a very ancient moonstone. It's just a replica. So it's just a wooden replica of it. These are huge and very heavy not to lift. So where you find these in Anuradhapura, I can pronounce this, for example, ancient temples, very old. These are stones on the floor. So when you enter a Buddhist temple, you first have to cross over the stone before you're entering the temple. So what does a stone do? You can see multiple layers here. So I'll use it like this. So you would be stepping into the temple from this side. The first layer is fire. Fire stands for passion. The second layer is a parade of animals. There's a cow, an elephant, a lion, and a horse, representing the cycle of life. Birth, old age, decay, and death, right? So it's the cycle of samsara. Then comes this floristic pattern here, which stands for desires. And then comes swans. And swans, if I understood it correctly, are very powerful animals because they represent good versus evil. Apparently, when there is a mixture of milk and water, swans are able to take the milk out, so purity. And then last but not least, in the center, you have a half a lotus. And I love the lotus flower. It's very powerful, right? So as they explained it to us, the lotus actually grows.
Yeah, I can.
Can you explain the lotus growth? So we'll do that in a second. So basically, the sense of this moonstone is that as you're entering the temple, you have to go through these layers. So what you do is you go from ego, you let go, you cleanse the demon, whatever, and you come to inner peace. And then you're ready to go into the temple with a cleansed mind, right? So tell us about the lotus flower for a second, because that is such a beautiful.
Okay,
beautiful.
and also this is another communication system. 2000 years ago.
Yeah.
So let's call it Instagram. Right, almost exact like that. So what we are doing, the social media and all those things, communicating with the world. That time, this is how people are communicating with these symbols, right? So now she explained about these things. So usually, this is the entrance of the temple. That's why it is a half, but we cannot put it the full because it's a door after that, right? So other half we have to consider inside, but it's not like this. So what is the nature of life? In this existence, everything is cycles. Do you see that? In this life, in this world, in this existence, what we have cycles. Everything is cycles. Now think about why we suffer. We are thinking everything is a straight line. We think everything is straight line. We think there is a beginning, there is an end. So thinking about, I'm standing here in the beginning, I'm going to walk into the end, then problem solved. That's what people are thinking. But what is now do you see when we are looking at the outside, we see the straight line, right? Everything is straight, we can see distance. But what is the nature of it? The nature of the world is a whole globe. It's a cycle, right? So what we are doing now, thinking it is a straight line, but still we are walking in cycles. Why we are exhausted, tired, and complaining. We are keep working, thinking there's an end. There is no end. What will happen? After you go to that wall, there is more to go. Then what will happen to us? We are tired. We are exhausted. Then you keep working. Then we get more tired. Until we die, we keep working. There is no solution. So while we are doing that, there is a person start to meditate or find good connection, noble friendship. Then he or she start to think, oh my God, how foolish I am. We all are walking in cycles. That is the issue. If you recognize we are walking in cycles, what we do? What do we do? You jump out from the cycle. Then after that you are not contributing to the cycle. Or you live in the cycle, understanding the cycle. Make sense? So that is the wisdom. Now think about this lotus flower is a middle. So she was talking about the duality. Always we are in this extreme, always we are that extreme. There is no middle ground for people. This way or that way. That's what we call the living duality. So This lotus flower symbolizes the middle ground. I call the holy ground. Middle is a holy ground. If you can find the middle, you can see the both extremes. You are not going to this way or you are not going to that way. You are standing tall, you are keep practicing yourself. So why we use the lotus? Lotus growing in the muddy, murky water. So now think about the lotus flower, lotus bud going through lots of challenges. What are the challenges lotus bud is going through? Mud and water keep coming towards the sun to open to the world. Then finally go through the mud, go through the water, go through the murky, muddy nature, bloom into the world and beautiful. So then what will happen to the lotus flower? Lotus flower never touch the mud or water. Do you think lotus flower touch the mud or water? Flower part? No. It is above the water, above the mud. But still connected to the water and mud. Why? Without mud and water, lotus flower cannot survive. The moment, you have been in Sri Lanka, moment we pick it, after a few hours later, lotus flower dies. Why? There is no water, there is no mud, there is no nutrients. So therefore, you can be a lotus flower. Therefore, don't complain to the world. What the world does for us, giving us a nutrients. Make sense? The world is giving us a nutrient to understand about our nature. What people are trying to do now, totally separate from the world, try to find the lotus flower. Good luck again. There is no lotus flower exists without world problems. Therefore, with your peaceful mind never exists without problems. So therefore, problems are blessing for you to understand about yourself. So therefore, don't complain to the problem, use them to make your life better. So that is the meaning of the word.
Now translate this
Yeah.
into German just briefly.
Yeah.
Wir haben kurz diesen Halbmondstein aus Sri Lanka, aus dem also wirklich altertümlichen, archaischen Sri Lanka schon gesprochen. Und gerade ging es um die Lotusblume, die in der Mitte ist. Also es geht um die verschiedenen Schichten, die wir vom Ego hin zur inneren Harmonie durchschreiten müssen, um nachher, bevor ein buddhistischer Tempel zum Beispiel betreten wird, das sind große Steine, über die man hinübergeht meditativ. Das heißt, es ist der Weg von Chaos hin zur Harmonie sozusagen, dass man sich und genau, die Lotusblume ist eben eine Blume, die zwar Schmutz, Dreck und alles braucht und Wasser braucht, um zu wachsen, aber nie damit in Berührung kommt. Und Bhante hat gerade eben erklärt, wie auch für uns das so ist, dass die Probleme, die wir haben, die ja auch Schmutz und alles um uns herum sind, ohne die könnten wir auch nicht wachsen. Das sind Dinge, die uns zum Wachsen bringen, ohne dass wir dadurch uns schmutzig machen müssen sozusagen oder damit in Berührung kommen müssen. So I switched back to English to kind of draw the parallel to communication also with this moonstone, because I think if we in our world would have this moonstone as a footmat, as a Fußmatte at each entrance of our apartments or houses, imagine what would happen to the world. And if we would use it, Bhante, I would have mine and you would have yours, what would it be? It would be a circle, right? And each of us are standing on this moonstone communicating.
Right, exactly.
What would we do? We would be like the lotus flower.
Right.
So we have a lot of mud around us and also within us, but also between us. You said something bad to me. We had a bad relational history. Oh, you're just the difficult patient. You're the hypochondriac. You're just doing this to make me mad. You always say this. Whatever these relational things are, there's also mud in relational trajectories, in power dynamics, in all kinds of contextual time, the space, the situation we're in, both inside and also between us. That maybe we could think of this moonstone as a metaphor, as he said, as an Instagram for how we want to connect, not how we want to inform, but how we want to connect. And we can maybe use this leaving here tonight as a thought of, what is it that's mud inside of me and between us right now? And not mud to wash my hands off, but mud to pay attention to. but to embrace as our human nature and as our human nature of relating. And then we can talk about it. And then from the communication parallel, the pathway, from introspection, it would be from chaos to inner harmony. From communication, the pathway is disconnection to connection. So I think this is a beautiful way of, and what I love talking about cultural differences, because to me there are cultural enrichments. We're all a human nature. And we have so much knowledge, and that amazes me every time when I teach also a class on cultures of healing, how there are cultures on this world that have never met. But the healing practices they use are identical. So there's something that makes us all the same. And this something that makes us all the same is what's tasking us to pull forces together in facing the problems that we're not making, but that are actually around us, like climate change, existential kind of problems, not problems we make, but actual problems that may be surrounding us, that are forcing us to pull together again as a humanity. So I'm personally so grateful to have had you here, Bhante. It's a pleasure to have you here. I hope everybody enjoyed this conversation. We are coming to a conclude now, but there is that gift from Sri Lanka that is still expecting us now that we've been holding, well, I haven't. We've been holding this, so I will give this back to you now, and Bhante to conclude.
Okay, so you can see this bracelet made in Sri Lanka. So Buddha used to live 45 years after his Buddhahood, right? So 45 years he was teaching 8 years of his life. So 45 years teaching means a lot. So like before COVID, my home temple in Sri Lanka, we chanted his 45 years teaching 3 months. Can you believe 3 months means 24/7, day and night, without breaking the thread? We chanted 3 months. During that blessing ceremony, we blessed these bracelets. I don't know, maybe more than 10,000 times we chanted for this bracelet. Okay, so now you hold it, right? How long you hold it? Like almost 1 hour. They were holding it. Now these bracelets belong to who?
Wem gehört das Armband?
Belong to? You hold it, right? Yeah, belong to you, right? See, that's how you created the problems. Now holding it 1 hour, you are thinking it is yours. Can you see how you are creating problems? Now think about holding 1 hour. What you did for this bracelet now, you put I into it.
I, das Ich.
Yeah, you put I into it. Then if it is I, that belong to you, then you are trying to protect it. Same problem happening every situation in our life. When you come to this world, did you bring things? No. After you come to this world, you label mother, father, sister, brother, and items and all those things. Then you put I into it. Then when you lose it, you had sad and upset and angry and disappointed. So therefore, this is the lesson for you. This is not yours. Sorry. Okay. So therefore, what I am asking you, let it go. So therefore, just pass it to the person next to you. The one you are holding, then get other person one to your hand. So switch. Okay. Okay, you did that. Everybody change it. Therefore, now this is another communication. So that means we communicated our caring, our love, our concern, our compassion. We share with people. So what I am asking you now, everybody. Okay. Are you upset about it now? If you are upset, that's not my problem. Sorry, I'm a joker. So now let's do this. Now please help, just wait. please help each other to tie it. Okay? For whatever hand you want. You know, usually in Sri Lanka, we use right. So, when you do that, please make 3 knots. Remember those 3 knots, okay? 3 knots. Number 1, guidance. We all need the guidance, right? Okay. After you receive guidance, what you have to do with the guidance? Practice. That's the second knot. Practice. To keep that guidance and practice, we need something. Noble friends. Good people around us. To support us to continue this journey. Even they are not completely coming with us, but in the beginning they are helping. Guidance, practice, noble friendship. Okay. Then after you tie it, then what will happen after a few months, or some people are holding it like 2 years, 4 years. You know, when I go to my Austria family, husband, he has like 5 of them. Every year they are getting it and keep collecting them. So now think about after a few months later, you will see it is discoloration. Then middle of nowhere, you cannot see it. It's missing. Then what will happen to people, especially in America, they freak out. Oh my God, I lost my blessing, Bhante. I don't know, maybe, you know, somebody cursed on me or something like that. People got so scared. After you lose it, if you see it is discoloration is happening, what does that mean? You are learning the biggest lesson of the life. Let go, and every conditioned things are subject to change. So that means let it go. Don't worry about it. Don't attach. This is a piece of thread. Why you are going to attach to it? Right? So, but after that, if you need another one, message me, I will send you one. Okay, let's do it.
In German.
No.
Bhante hat ganz kurz zusammengefasst gezeigt, wer sich jetzt da mit verbunden fühlt, das ist meins. Und warum fühlen wir, das ist unseres? Weil wir unser Ego reingemacht haben, weil wir unser Ich reingesteckt haben. Dabei ist es nur ein Band. Und er hat jetzt gesagt, wir werden jetzt praktizieren, wie man es traditionell macht, dass wir uns gegenseitig das binden und 3 Knoten machen. Und diese 3 Knoten stehen, die erste steht für Anleitung, also Guidance. Das zweite steht für Praxis, also Übung. Und das dritte, the third one?
Noble Friendship.
Noble Friendship, dass wir jemanden, Freund, Begleiter finden im Leben, die uns erinnern und mit denen wir auch weiter wachsen können und das weiterhin. Und da meinte er, dass es auch so sein wird normalerweise, wenn man das dann trägt, dass man wieder dieses Ich reinsteckt und denkt, Gott, jetzt habe ich es verloren, was ist mir Schlimmes passiert? Und er auch da wieder sagte, wenn uns das verloren geht, dann haben wir die wichtigste Nachricht daraus gelernt. Let go. Also lass es gehen, die Impermanenz des Lebens. Wir besitzen nichts, nur wenn wir ein Ego reinstecken, dann wird es uns wertvoll. Und das ist eben genau das Gegenteil, eigentlich der Ursprung des Leids, das wir damit uns selber verursachen. Bhante, so shall we do this?
Yeah,
do you
so
want
please.
to show them how you do it on my hands?
Yeah.
So he's doing it on my hands. Er zeigt, wie es geht. 1.
Make it really tight.
Ja. Und gut festziehen, dass es hält, sagt er noch, genau. So, now that Bhante has wenn ich noch 2 Minuten Aufmerksamkeit haben dürfte, weil ich muss gleich noch das Buffet öffnen. Aber since we're going to practice the eating meditation after, since Bhante has given us a gift, it's also my wish to give a gift to Bhante. He didn't think So here's a card, Bhante.
Thank you
Or
so much.
gratitude, but there's a special gift, and you may think what's in here. It's a special gift from our region here.
Chocolate.
No. Chocolate is impermanent. So this is something permanent.
Okay.
This is actually something millions of years old.
Is there anything permanent?
They know what I'm talking about. What is it? It's a crystal from our mountains.
Wow.
And this is
Oh,
really,
thank you.
this is really millions of years old. So you open it. We just, yeah, we have to tie it up. So it's a, for me, the equivalent to a lotus flower.
It's beautiful, right?
So this is from the Gotthard Massif, which is
Thank you.
right here.
Thank you. Thank you.
But let me tell you why, to me, this is our cultural equivalent to a lotus flower, right? Because it's this crystal is in that mountain in the dark for millions of years.
Okay.
And it doesn't come to the light until it's extracted from the mountain. So this crystal has been millions of years not have light in it, and now thank of the sun and thanks of your spirit for being here.
Thank you.
So I want you to give this as something that's not going to get lost or go away, because it's been here for millions and it will stay for millions to come. So Bhante, thank you so much for being here. So I would like to, we have time left. We have 45 minutes left with Bhante. That's why I wanted to finish a bit earlier, because probably some of you want to speak with him. And we have a few things to offer. We have the promised apéro. So the grill god was here, and they already set up food in the back. So we have Sri Lanka style tea. We have chai tea and jasmine tea. We also have a coffee machine and water if you'd like. We also have all kinds of foods that I want to offer you to enjoy. Bhante will be sitting on the green sofa in the back, and there are some books of Happy, 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 his book. There's only 10 copies, I think. So who comes first gets first. And he will sign them for you, so they're here for purchase. All of the things go back to funding the sustainability of this event, of the Sri Lanka culture, and also of our institute's work going forward. But there's also masks. There's also only 20 pieces of these masks for sale. You will see them back there. And bracelets and ebony wood keychains, which is all from Sri Lanka. So those are actually giving money to Sri Lanka for people in a culture that have big hearts, but I don't want to say empty pockets, but they make from very hard labor about 2 francs a day for working on rice fields. So this is our way of an institute giving back to families in need. So this will be the artisan table back there, the book signing table back there, the food to enjoy, the communication to practice, and of course you can take a look at what we have up here. And when you walk out, there will be a donations box which will go towards the institute. Terry mentioned earlier, we're planning a crisis resilience summit here where we want to bring communication cohesion, and we have people from the Bundeshaus coming to Altdorf to work on building crisis resilience, strengthening the Swiss communication so we can encounter crises more harmoniously in the future, and that costs money. So if you can help us, when you walk out, you can also help us support that event for the future. Yes,
okay.
Thank you, Bhante.
So, thank you so much for listening to me, and I'm so grateful to Professor Hannawa. Thank you so much for your kindness and compassion. She worked so hard, and I think last whole month you were so excited and working non-stop. We keep getting messages, me and my assistant Michael, oh my God, she's working so hard for this event. And,
well,
right?
It was worth it,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, you did amazing job. I'm so grateful. One thing I want to announce, so there is an email list.
Yes.
And so it is called the Morning Coffee Wisdom with Bhante. Every morning I'm sending a little thought for the day. So maybe your daytime you get it.
Yes, mornings. So, I have it every morning when I wake up, I see Bhante.
Right. Over 15,000 people get it every morning. So if you are interested to receive it, it's not a long reading, just one sentence.
Yeah.
Right? Please put your email address, so then you will get it within next
and
week.
And the email list is next to you, Bhante. So
okay.
We put the email list right next to the book,
right.
the book table back there. So you can sign up. I get it every day. It's a beautiful, remember, yeah. It forces you to make time. Thank you, Bhante. Thank you everyone for being here. I hope you enjoyed it. Vielen Dank. Schönen Abend. Genießt das Miteinander und schaut euch an.